up earlier from dark matter, which I thought was it's a good point. And think about the longest time we were just always like, man, the East, when you had some of those teams that were really just trying to get back on the up. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that Georgia was there, right? If you really think about it,
Yeah.
Georgia was trying to get back to the pinnacle and trying to get back up. But here they are now. It's back-to-back defending national champions. Tennessee, like we said, is certainly on the rise after what happened last season. Kentucky, we just mentioned. We've all said I think Vandy's going to be improved. Florida's the wild card. I think Missouri's defense could be fantastic. See what happens with the offense. South Carolina, they have the talent. A lot of new players on the roster, but you sort of I think expect Shane Beamer to get it done. So yeah, I mean the East is as fascinating this season as it's been in a long time. I think when you just consider all those elements, and it's not just the SEC and the SEC West anymore, which it felt like it was for a long time. So.
Yeah, thank you for the listener for coming up with the starts. I thought about throwing that out to the audience, but I didn't want to make that ask of them. So predictably, somebody did it on there. I forgot Jaden Daniels had started that many games at Arizona State. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that just illustrates how many good, experienced quarterbacks there will be in this league this year, which I think makes for great football. Yeah, let's close it here with the East. Okay, the West has gotten all the attention, but do you guys remember a time where so many fan bases felt as good about the state of their program in the East? I mean, all at the same time. I guess the one that there's two you circle a little bit. Missouri, we're not quite sure where that's going, but you look at Eli Drinkwitz and the way he's recruiting. He just brought in, maybe the number one player in the country. I think their defense sets them up for success this year. Florida's in one we talked about the ways that could fall apart, and they could get impatient with Billy Napier, but the recruiting's great. The way he's building the program is great. Blake, you and I are older than Gavin, but when is the last time that so many fan bases felt as good about the direction of their program within the SEC East as they do as we're sitting here doing this in late August?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there are Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina. Like you said, I think Vanderbilt fans I think they're optimistic. Certainly, I think just building off of, some of the bright spots of last year, I think there's a lot of optimism there. And we talked about the schedule too, and the potential for a great start with that schedule. And then again, yeah, I mean, I knew I'm forgetting to mention somebody. But Florida's, look, like we said, Florida, there's a wide range of opinions we talked about yesterday. But guess what? I've seen a lot of Florida fans who think, hey, everybody can keep doubting us, but from what I see and hear around the program, this is it. Like, we're about to turn this thing around. And so maybe that happens. And so, yeah, I mean, I think every single program in the East has high expectations. And I think to me, the two that are the most, I don't know what the word is, but I think Florida and Missouri are the ones where you could see it go in multiple directions. But, I just don't know. Like I said, I'm probably higher on Missouri than most people are. That was one of my bold predictions, I think, was that they were going to start whatever heading into that LSU game, beat a top 25 Kansas State team. And, but yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Chris. I mean, it's been a while since every single program in the East has reason to be very optimistic. I think heading into the season, somebody's got to lose games, but everybody's optimistic, and we haven't seen that in a while in the East. So
yeah, and that's what I was going to say, Blake. Is that's great, that's awesome. But all that means is there are going to be a couple people that are going to be let down by the time this season ends.
Somebody's going to be disappointed.
Somebody's going to be unhappy, and somebody's going to be calling for the coach, and somebody, I mean, it always is, and everybody has all the right answers except for the people who are actually working it. So I guess we'll see what happens.
That's what happens when it gets to this point. Chris, I was going to say is when you get to a point where literally everyone in the conference is optimistic, think about it. All 14 schools, somebody's going to get fired. That's all it means.
I know. I keep watching this, and I listen to the predictions of optimism everywhere, and I'm like, I don't know which one of you guys it's going to be, but a couple of you are going to be really disappointed at the end of the year. But you could see it coming from here. So
hey, that's what makes SEC football great, man. That's what it is.
Hey, this year. We may have a whole other show about this, just about all the reasons I think college football. I mean, there's some bad storylines out there. There's some things we don't like about the game, the conference stuff, the NIL inequalities. There are a lot of things I don't like. But man, these dynamics have made it a fascinating season ahead.